I have so many people ask me to help them decide which camera body to purchase. They ask, it's my first DSLR, which one should I get? Or should I upgrade? Or what's the difference between these two bodies? Which is better? Which is the best? To start off, no one camera body is the best. Everyone has different requirements and goals. One person might want the biggest and baddest with the newest capabilities, while a lightweight, compact body may be more important to someone else. And really, all of the DSLR bodies on the market today are good, capable cameras. The first thing I would suggest you do is think about what it is that you want to do. Landscapes, portraits, sports? Are you going to use it primarily in the studio, or are you going to be traveling around with it? If you already have a DSLR, what specifically about that one do you find lacking? Once you assess the situation, so to speak, then you can start to look for the features that will be most helpful for you. For example, say you want to take photos at your kids' soccer games, and maybe take the camera on vacations, and probably take some family portraits too. Then probably you should look at something easy to carry around, but one that is still snappy. Pay attention to the frames per second and focus tracking and speed. Of course, don't get so entwined in the specs that you confuse yourself. Take a look at them because they can definitely help you narrow down your search. In fact, Nikon and Canon both have really good compare tools on their websites. You can compare selected bodies in a table. But then, after you narrow down your choices using the specs, get your hands on the actual camera bodies. Go to a shop and see how each one feels in your hands and how it behaves. If you don't like how a camera feels in your hands or how you navigate through the menus, you're not going to want to use it. For me, I like instant response time. I'm willing to work with a mixed bag of features as long as when I click that shutter button, the camera fires without hesitation. If you do already have a DSLR, consider one more thing. Think about holding on to it and investing in a lens or two instead of a whole different body. When someone asks me about upgrading, I always ask, what specifically about your current camera body are you dissatisfied with? The answer is usually, well, I just want to take it to the next level, or I need a full-frame camera to take better photos. There's rarely something specific, and when there is, it's not always something that can be remedied with a new camera body. So think about that. If there's nothing specific that you can point to, think about sticking with that body for a while longer, experimenting more, and maybe looking into new lenses. A new lens or two can completely change how you feel about your DSLR body. Every time I get a new camera body, my photos look the same as with the old body, but that new lens that does something different, than the lenses that I already have, that can change everything. Before I go, one thing I want to convey to you is this. Don't worry too much about what anyone else says. Go with what you want. If you think that a smaller, more compact, less expensive camera will fit the bill for you, do that. Don't let anyone tell you that it isn't good enough, or that you need the largest, heaviest DSLR on the market to get all of the features into one massive camera body. On the flip side, if you simply want the biggest, baddest, and newest gear out there, do it. And also, don't obsess over the decision for too long. It's an important decision, but it's not life or death. I've had people struggle for months deciding which body or kit to buy. And all that time they could have been taking photos, learning, and experimenting. Like I said in the beginning, every single one of the DSLR bodies on the market today is light years ahead of what was out there a few years ago. And for the majority of people, for the majority of the time, you're really not going to be able to get a shot with one body that you couldn't get with any of the others. In fact, I get a certain thrill out of getting big results out of a small camera. Working with your camera, learning to use it, and maybe having a few different lenses will make more of a difference. But lenses are a whole other story that I won't get into for now.